What's going on, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of MLB 17, the show. This is the St. Louis Cardinals franchise, and this is the Cardinal Insider, the Redbird Report. As we're going to take a quick look here at the Midsummer Classic coming up here pretty soon, but we're going to look at some of the numbers here so far this season and talk about what the team is all about. So there you see currently in first place in the National League Central, as we're holding on this lead pretty good. 14 games, 24 games. 14 games over the second place team, which is the Cubbies there. I'm having a hard time looking at my screen here. But we're on a 2-game losing streak here. We're 5-5 in the last 10. And, we're playing some decent baseball right now. We're 5th overall in the power rankings, as you take a look there on the far right-hand side of your screen. And we're looking pretty good. Now, Nationals, of course, in for probably one of the most dominant teams there. They're right now, just like us, in first place. Their power ranking is at number 3. And they have a 7.5 game lead over the Mets. Braves right behind them, along with the Phillies and the Marlins. They're in last place in the National League East. So looking pretty good there. We'll also take a look here at the National League West, of course. Dodgers there in first place with a slim lead right now. 5.5 games over the Giants. Diamondbacks right behind them, 9 back. And the Rockies there, 12 back in 4th place. And of course in 5th place, the Padres at 21 games back with a 32 and 57 record. But for us, I'll have the rankings where we are in different statistical categories down below in the description there. But for the most part here, it's been a pretty good year so far. This first half has been looking pretty nice here, and we're hoping that the second half we have to go strong here. We have to play some really good baseball here, especially in the month of August. Like I said, we have a good lead over pretty much everyone in our division right now, and we're pretty much a shoe-in for the overall top spot in the playoffs. Of course, that means we'll have to face whoever's going to win the wild card in the National League. But for the most part, like I said, we're playing really well. There are guys we'll see here in just a bit what their numbers are individually. But I've been really impressed with a lot of players, especially with Tommy Pham now coming up to the majors and what he has done there. He's kind of been on a little bit of a slump as of late, but he is starting to charge back up. Randall Grichuk, especially, who spent a couple of weeks down there in AAA there in Memphis, has now been roaring back here. And he is looking like the prospect that we've been told by many that has a bright future for us in there. Of course, I know in real life, and he's with the Toronto Blue Jays in real life now. But this, at least this Randall Grichuk here in this game, he is really starting to look at the ball very well. We put him out in the center field instead of left. Which has pretty much worked out for him. So he pretty much play anywhere on the outfield there, but he's looked like he's been really comfortable playing center field, and I've kind of noticed that here playing these last couple of episodes. But of course, the man of the hour on the team, of course, who we're centering this team around is Carpenter. We'll look at his numbers here in a bit, but look at our pitching here. Look at Michael Wacha. 15-1 for the season. He has 149 strikeouts, ERA under 1, so that's really awesome. And he's just been lights out here in the games that he's been involved in. 22 walks so far this season. He's pitched 120 and a third innings of work, and like I said, he has been a lightning rod for here. Every time he's been out here to pitch, he's been able to be dominant over the competitors. Carlos Martinez, he had a really great start there, but he started losing a couple of games there as of late, and started slipping there some. So 13-3 for him. Lance Lynn, I should say, 11-4, and then Mike Leake and really Adam Wainwright. I think Adam Wainwright, his age is starting to show up here because he is now 9-5, and really I really thought we was gonna have something special with him, but some of his last starts here have not been too impressive there. He has been not able to really get through. I'm trying to push him at least to 7 innings, and it's been kind of tough here as of late. So he's had some pretty tough games, and we're hoping that it'll change here as we go in the second half. Now, As for, rumors were going around maybe trading him, that's not going to be the case here unless something really, something funky really happens. For the most part, we're going to keep him around. I don't think, matter of fact, I don't think his contract's even up. I have to look that up and let you guys know. But look at our relievers there. Matt Bauman is doing really great. Kevin Seagert's there also too, and Trevor Rosenthal, always exceptional there. Jonathan Braxton, he had a pretty good, decent start there at the start of the season there, but he has he has one save so far here. But some of the times he had it in there, he's been giving up some runs and kind of not necessarily giving up the lead, but just giving up and not really holding on to us there in the game towards the 7th and 8th innings, or I should say 6th and 7th innings. Ho, there you see he has 29 saves right now. I believe he is the leader in the National League, if not in the majors. Yanni Molina, of course, our rock on with that team, and he's had a great season so far here. 287 for him for the season, and we're really hoping things will start really heating up for him as his bat's been starting to ignite here in that bottom half of the lineup. And of course, Matt Carpenter, 29 home runs. He leads the home runs here, I believe, in the National League. And of course, for our ball club, with a 308 average, he's going to be in the home run derby. So definitely check that out here. That'll be the next episode here on the channel. Of course, he's sharing some time at first base, and of course playing some second base with between him and Greg at second base, and of course Matt Adams and Carpenter there sharing at first. So we're doing a good job there balancing out. I do want to try to bring up some of those maybe during the playoff run, or I should say September call-ups. We'll bring up some of those second and third basemen that I've been kind of really trying to get trained and get ready for in the postseason there. But of course, Peralta there, you see his numbers there, 313, 17 home runs. He has been really fun, not just in this series, but also my Kansas City Royals series. If you guys follow that too, there should be a link there above in the video here for that. He's been a lot of fun overall. I've been this is one of those players that I can feel like I got a real good connection with playing in these games. Randall Grichuk there, you see his numbers there. Like I said, 279. He is starting getting that 300, and if he gets any more here, he starts to get some more at bats and some more opportunities, especially in scoring opportunities here. His kid, he's gonna run away with the season. He's right up there in home runs. I believe he's like 20 home run, or no, he's 9 home runs away from tying up with Carpenter there. Of course, Tommy Pham, like I mentioned earlier, he is starting to turn around here. You see his at bats there, and he's doing pretty well. Of course, Steven Piscotty, he's out for at least another month. They say maybe even 2 months. It's been really tough trying to fill that right fielder position, but since he's been out, for the most part here, all the outfielders have been really just guys, stepping up and showing what they can do there, and help out that position over there in right. So for the most part here, it's been a pretty good season, and overall, it's been something that for the most part we've all kind of been really getting into here and making sure things happen. We'll go ahead and look at some of the numbers here when it comes to, I believe this is, I think that these are, league leaders here. So we'll look at some of the league leader numbers here. You guys can check those out. Like I said, the rest of the team stats there, I'll leave down below in the comments or down in the description. You guys can check those out. Pretty much we're in a lot of the rankings, a lot of the stuff that we're, that a team needs to be successful in. We are in the top 10. Place things like averages, at bats, doubles, of course home runs, and not necessarily in other areas like stolen bases. I know we're a team that not getting too many errors too, so this is always nice, and we're hoping that it will continue on more and more as we go through the rest of the season. Now, as for the season itself, we're going to try our best to try to fill some gaps and areas in here, especially when it comes to the fielding and the outfield position there. Like I said, for the most part here, the outfield position is doing great, even though Steven Piscotty is, he's going to be another month or so out. But I do want to kind of get some areas here. If Wainwright does start to go on the opposite end here and not really, not helpful with the for the team and whatnot, we may look at him at a possibility of trading him. Pretty much anybody's tradable, with the exception if you have a long-term contract or something like that. But I've always said this, and I think I've said this before in other videos. But you're on this the last contract year or whatever. I'm not gonna really hesitate on pulling the gun pulling the trigger and making something happen. So I have been looking at some trades there for Wainwright, and of course a couple other players there. If I thought about it now, I should have showed you guys what our trade block looks like. I might try to fit that in there during the All-Star game, because I've already recorded the home run derby. You guys will see that in its entirety in the next episode. I'm still trying to work on, or haven't even got the All-Star game ready yet for this series. But for the most part here, like I said, I am looking at some possible trades. I don't like to make trades just to make trades, because like I said, right now our team is looking really good here. But if we happen to have a freak accident with a player, injury or something like that, we are going to, then I will make something happen. Not necessarily something realistic, something that can help us out, maybe a bat, or maybe an arm or something like that can help us out here. But for the most part here, I'm really confident with the starting rotation there. I don't see any problems in there, with the exception of Wainwright. Like I said, we're gonna give him some time here to get things going for him. He's like I said, had a really nice start of the season, but then probably going to this towards the month of coming out of the month of May, going into the month of June, it's been a rocky go for him. And then going to this month of July that we're in right now in this series, it's been really just kind of touch and go with him. But of course, in an ideal world, you would like to have all 5 starters pitching very well. But of course, you're always going to have that 1 or 2 that's going to give you some trouble. But our top 3 guys there doing really good there. Wainwright, Martinez, and Lynn. I was really actually surprised with Lynn. Lake, and of course Wainwright. They've had some pretty good wins here, but they've also had some really defeating losses. Had some pretty good wins, but some defeating losses. And of course, most of those are just because CPU, when I'm just simming and stuff like that, which is totally fine, and whatnot. But yeah, we'll like for the most part. Like I said, I really don't want to make any drastic changes in the pitching, batting either. We might have our team for the most part here, but we may trade or something like that. Maybe try to find some prospects or something like that that we can bring in. But I am looking at pretty much anything and everything that the computer offers, and kind of looking at it and just kind of making some decisions there. So, but yeah, for the most part here, it's been a fun go this season. We are going to try to fast track this season as much as possible here, because I would like to move this game over to the next couple of games, on 18, 19, and eventually to 20. So we will be fast tracking some here. I'm thinking I might just finish this month out with the All-Star game, and then play a couple of games for this month of July, and then move it over to 18. And then from 18, play maybe August, September, and then play 19 in the playoffs, and then start the new season in 19, and then eventually move it over, play about another 2 months or maybe a month or 2 in 19 of the season, and then finally move over to 20. I do have some of these games scheduled out. I try to at least schedule these my series, or at least this series and the World Series, in a month's advance, because like I said, we are going to be skipping a lot of the divisional games here, with the exception, of course, the Cubbies, Cardinals and Cubbies. We got to play those games, or at least showcase those games in some kind of way, and we'll show those too. So, and especially if we are starting to slip up and stuff like that, and then we will definitely, I'll definitely keep close contact and show that. Not to mention, we are going to try to move this series even, try to advance it even further on. Not just with simulation, just simming a lot of stuff, but also try to do some live streams and maybe even possibly some live commentary stuff. So, because I know with live commentary, I can do it quickly and and then just go and edit it and then go from there. So, we can do that. That'll really help speed up this, the series and whatnot, and just try to get this stuff out there as much as I possibly can. Because these, I've been my little 2-week hiatus. I've been working on a lot of different stuff here for this series. So that is your first half of the series there, or first half of the season 1 of this series with the Cardinals. Like I said, we'll try to spin up and get this series moving along here, because I do have some got some good players that we've redrafted, and I just want to kind of move this series along here quickly as I can. So that is it for this episode of the Cardinals Insider Redbird Report. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification if you want to join or follow the series and get more content on this channel. Not to mention, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Discord for latest news and events on what's going on here on the channel, what's going on in the world of sports gaming and sports in general. You guys can also be, if you want to be a Patreon and help support the channel, there is a link to above and down below to our Patreon page. You guys can check that out. You guys will get the latest content of new episodes of all our series here on the channel, and definitely check those out here on there on Patreon. You'll see it before you even up on the channel, just days before. So definitely check that out and stay tuned for more road to some more Cardinals baseball here on ESGNet. But that is it for me. Stay tuned for more, and like I said, we're gonna try to move this series as quickly as we can, and try to get enough content as often as I can here on the channel. As always, keep yourselves healthy, and I will see you guys next time.